like the hat.
You guys like that?
The hat's good. Yeah, it is.
Like that?
I like that.
Where do we go
Sing
with
along,
this?
will you? Go ahead and sing along.
Go with this chorus. Yeah, let's do it.
I flip on the poker face.
That's like the first lyric.
Yeah,
I know it all the time.
There's a
Yeah, let's do it.
Hold on.
into
God,
the
it's too
music
small.
scene. Showing lots of love
Do it.
for the community. With great
Hey,
oh, I should go
go
see.
see.
Who's that?
Walk around the radio show.
That's where I go for the latest brand and
Just
fun.
give it to
Sing it. This hat's too damn small.
Around town radio show.
The music that comforts my soul. It's the
All around town
That's better.
radio. Is that better?
It's a little loose. Yeah, there we go. It's my big melon.
Radio. Oh, oh.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Welcome back, Ceris.
Hi.
How was your trip?
It was wonderful. It was beautiful.
Yes. You get to see the Borealis,
Yes.
the Northern Lights. Yes, wasn't that fun, huh?
It was gorgeous. It was gorgeous, darling.
I bet it was. I
Gorgeous.
bet it was. Let's see who's checking in. Who's out there? Kevin Tolles is
What's up,
with us
Kevin
today.
Tolles?
Hi, Kevin. Melody. How are you, Melody?
Hi, Melody.
Gina.
Hi, Gina McCann.
Wiki. Skip, I almost wore the Liars for Hire shirt. If I'd have known you would be here, I'd have worn it. How are you? Kara's in the house.
Hi, Kara. Hi, Skip.
How about this freaking weather BS?
Well, Singo canceled on us because of this weather, and I'm not sure that was smart. I don't know. I'm torn. I mean,
Well, you know,
guess-
Mr. Burroughs closed at 5:00 because they had staff coming in from all over and all that. And she's so mad at herself right now. You know, it never fails. But if you'd have stayed open, the building wouldn't be there tomorrow. You know, I mean, it's one of those things. It's so
there we go.
weird.
I also think, I mean, this is only, there's supposed to be another round. So, I mean, she could have done the right thing.
That's right. And yeah, I mean, she and I were talking, and it's like, you know, you got to make the call, and whatever turns you on, and whatever your venue. And I mean,
Well,
she wanted to
talking
protect.
about what turns me on.
I'm not talking about that. Here, let me get rid of this. I
Boom,
look
boom,
stupid
boom,
in the
boom.
hat. All right.
My mirror
So
needs cleaning. Look how dusty it is.
you're what?
My mirror, you can see how dusty it is.
Oh, God,
know
I
what
thought
I
you were talking
learned
about my
having-
studio.
By having 6 what?
I thought you were talking about my studio
No.
needed cleaning.
When you have 6 dogs, dust.
Oh my God. Yes, I know.
Dust.
It's everywhere.
Crazy. I've never dealt with so much dust in my life.
They carry it in, they blow it
know.
around, and yeah. What's going on, Bob Klein? Colleen?
Hi,
Hi.
Bob. Hi, Lee. Hi, Jim Kilroy.
Lee Dixon got canceled too. Yeah, there's a lot of that. I mean, I saw a lot of it going on. And, you know, I totally agree with an owner if they want to err on the side of,
Caution.
being safe. Because, first of all, like where I was going to be, Mr. Burroughs, it seats about 100 people. Where are you going to put 100 people in the event of a tornado warning in that building? You can't get 100 people in the walk-in cooler.
Right.
And that's the safest place in the joint. And frankly, I mean, I understand it. And they've been preaching all day long that this was going to be a tornado con or whatever it was going to be.
Yeah.
You know?
I didn't cancel.
It's because you're just so macho.
Now I feel like an asshole.
Do you? Well, it's okay.
I don't know. Like none of my staff. Usually I let my staff, you know, if they feel unsafe, you know, I let them kind of let me know.
I was talking to Marcy from Mr. Burroughs, and I mean, this is the first time they've ever closed due to weather in their 7-year history. Even snowstorms and all that, they've always stayed open, and people have come in and,
We've
you know,
still had bands. When Lee used to play with Kevin McCoy, he'll vouch for this. There was a huge snowstorm, and they all drove up and still played. And I have to tell you, it was still a fun night. People still came out. It may not have been super busy, but people still came out. Snow
Yeah.
days are the best days, like sometimes.
Hi, Ray Renee. Hi, Jim McCarthy.
It's not raining here either, Ray Ray.
Yes. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Lee said that was a good night. Yeah.
You're
And,
right.
it still could be, like you said, it could be the right call. You never know what may
You never
happen.
know.
But I was torn about it too, and trying to watch the weather. And, they kept saying it was going to get bad. So
They say round 2. I mean, round 1 wasn't that bad. We were driving in it.
Yeah.
Jim and I did ask him to drive me to the bar because I wanted to go stormproof it and everything like that. And I don't like driving in rain or anything like that. So
When you stormproof, you just get all the stuff outside, batten down, and all that stuff.
Yeah, I just bring I couldn't get there at a certain time, but got all the umbrellas. The amazing human that cleans, one of the amazing humans that cleans the bar, they brought all the umbrellas inside, and then the back room, I need to close that off because long story. And then just
I know, I've been there.
Yeah.
That's it.
But it's not. Yeah, it's sunny. It's sunny here in Milford. Oh, it's a little not so sunny. But you know what I learned today, Jim McCarthy, is that sunshine on a day like this is not a good sign.
Yeah, and that's what they kept saying. It was heating up, and it was going to get bad. But weather. So I get a night off tonight. There it is. I lose a night's pay, but if it kept people safe, we're all right.
I love Evelyn.
Hi, Evelyn. Melody. What's Melody got to say?
Melody, I agree with you, girl. Hi, Mario.
Not a bad place. Not a place.
Hi, Anna. I feel like I haven't seen you in a minute.
Talk to these people while I get a couple things running, then we're going to get to our topic here.
Hi, Mary. Hi, Wayne. Hey, guys.
Hey, guys.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, guys, as you like to say.
Hi, guys.
There we go. We got a lot of people checking in today.
Oxford area.
I think they've missed you.
Because of my vacay mode.
They didn't miss me, but they missed you.
Oh, well, they didn't see me last week.
But we did see Miss Jackie. She did a great job. Got to give her props.
Did you see it? Yeah, she did great. You, on the other hand, were pretty rude, and you wanted to trade me in for a younger model, all ready to kick me to the curb for her.
She got the moves like Jaeger, man. She does. No, she's Miss Jackie. She got the moves.
Hey, Johnny. Yes. Yeah, I'm excited for Sunday, Johnny. Like, we got so many. I don't know if everybody knows this, but the B&B is doing a voice competition. Johnny's one of the judges. So is Gina, Chris Reese, myself.
Shameless plug.
I don't care. And myself and Casey Gomez. And I thought this and Courtney, our friend Courtney, she's hosting it. And we had so many submissions, like over 40 submissions. And I think that's great. And everybody's been wonderful. We've been having a blast at this. I got to tell you, I haven't heard of most of these people. And I am like, I got chills from a lot of them. Like,
are they multiplying?
They're multiplying.
Yes. Hi, Jonathan.
Great. Hi, Jonathan Grooms.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a good event. I hope it's better. And honestly, I'm not knocking it at all. I hope it's better than the ones I've participated in because they became argumentative shit shows. So I hope you've got a way to combat that a little bit. Just because people are people.
Well, we're not leaving it up to the audience. We're going to leave it up. There's only, you're either in or you're out. If you want to bitch, go ahead and bitch.
Thanks.
Not you.
What's going on? What's going on, Nicole? I'm not bitching at all. Oh. I'm sorry. I'm going to probably miss it, but that's the way it works. Hi, Nicole. How are you?
7 p.m., Mario. Hi, Nicole.
And welcome back.
I haven't responded to you. You sent me a message a long time ago.
Welcome back, Ceris.
Ceris.
Good to have you with me. So let's talk about the topic today. We got to get to that.
I forgot to share that topic. I didn't see that post.
That's all right. You never see my posts. I know. I like yours every day. You don't like mine. I'm starting to get a complex. I am. So let's look at her. Roll her eyes. She's been on vacation. She doesn't care.
That's
she
not
gives
true. I don't
none.
see them.
She tells me that FO every day. Carrie in the house. Hello, Carrie.
Time 40 submissions. I'll bet there's one bad apple.
Oh, nice segue, Bob. Thanks.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. How about that? Bob? Bob's a sharp cookie. He is.
Bob is a sharp cookie. Very smart. I enjoy.
So, last week, if you didn't, you were in Alaska, so you didn't get a chance to even probably watch the show.
I watched it.
Miss Jackie talking about genre swapping and all those things. It was pretty good, and I thought she had some great insight and did a really good job with that. And we had a lot of response to that show, so that's cool.
I thought it was great.
And Nicole, thank you for saying it makes your Tuesday. Well, at least seeing Ceris does, but thank you. I appreciate that.
She loves both of us.
I love Nicole too. She's a wonderful person. She is.
She really is like one of those gems.
Very nice person. Hi, Billy Baker.
Hi, Billy. Thanks, Billy.
He's talking to you.
I know.
Because I didn't go anywhere. So we got this right into the show, and it was right before you left last week that it came in, and we discussed this a little bit behind the scenes talking about it, and it's a really good topic. And I'm gonna leave the person nameless for a minute just because of some of the things they said in there. And it said, how do bands get paid? Is it a flat rate, a percent of the door? If it's the door, who works the door? And at a recent venue this person was at, they watched the band get paid $200, and they were supposed to get the door. The door was $5, and roughly 70 people came through the door, a little more than 70 people. And he said he counted the whole night. He sat there, and that was just the ones he counted. So the venue threw $200 at the band and said that was the door for the night.
$350.
Yeah. So that was where the sticking point came in. But the thing he was really asking is it appropriate for a band to say, I want a representative sitting at the door? And is that offensive? Or would you as a owner just say, hey, you man the door and you take the door? I mean, that if you were that kind of venue, and I know you're not, we'll talk about how you work yours out. But I mean, what would you do with that?
I don't think it's offensive at all. It's your money. And clearly somebody, and this is where bad apples come in. Somebody, if they were promised 100% of that door, well, 200 is not 100% of that door. So clearly you either never work with these people again, and then you protect your ass for the next time for the other venues that say they're going to do door, and you sit at the door and you got somebody to sit at the door and do it. I wouldn't be offended by that.
I started thinking about all the possibilities to that. And could it be a crooked doorman? Could it be a crooked owner? Could it be that somebody doesn't know how to count? I mean, honestly, that's stretching it, but you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I will say this, a lot of owners perhaps aren't there the whole night until the band's finished playing. So there's a possibility that they didn't even know. They just were given what they were told. But I mean, for me, for somebody who like follows the numbers, if 200, so what's 200? 350, 70 people is 350. So how many people is 200? Don't ask me to do math. Is that like 50? I don't know.
Really? Times 5?
I don't know.
Oh my. I'm going to let you sit there and sweat.
Leave me alone. Okay. So anyways, you would be able to look at how many people were 40. Thank you. Instead of making fun of me, Scott, thank you for just giving me the number, Eric.
It's okay. It's Australian math. Go ahead.
I was having a moment. I was in the middle of fucking explaining something, jerk. All right. So anyways, you would be able...
What did you say?
Jerk. You would be able to know that if there was only 40 you were just mocking me. If there was only 40 people, your numbers on the register would show that. So, I don't know.
Go on. You're on a roll. I mean, let's talk about this.
You keep interrupting me, so why would I?
Oh my God, I'm done. I'm so done. Miss Jackie, where are you? She was nice to me.
Then
she was nice. She was nice to me.
Lots of venues that paid the door wouldn't charge people who were already there before the band started. We don't usually charge anybody there that before the band started unless it's like a big event. Usually.
Who was saying that? I missed that.
Wayne Davis. 100%.
Oh, there's Wayne.
Minus the cost of the door guy. Oh, that's a good. Bill Marks has a point. Maybe that's what it was. And that would make sense. Bill Marks was like, I've seen 100% of the door minus the cost of the door guy.
Yeah, there's another one I didn't think of.
Yeah,
Thank you, Bill.
That's That's
That's good.
interesting. Yeah.
I know Jen Cuesta. I know she did.
Yeah.
Jen said you called me a jerk, so I'll just put this up. There we go. I'm a jerk. All right. There we go. What are you looking at?
I'm reading the comments.
Oh, are you?
Uh-huh.
What else you got?
Nice new JJ Gray picture from Scott.
Back there.
Yeah.
Yes. My JJ Gray poster, signed poster, by the way. Yes. Thank you, JJ. I'm going to take that I'm a jerk off of there, but hi, Michelle. Thanks for being here. Even though you said that about me. Something else I want to touch on, because I saw it happen at your place, and I'm gonna bring this up because, and it's probably a touchy subject, and I don't want to get you too fired up, but bands don't listen sometimes. And honest to God, your deal is, okay, here's your flat rate. And you've said this so many times on the show. Here's your flat rate, and then you get a bump or you get a percentage of the door or something like that. You don't get the flat rate and the door because your flat rate comes out of the door. And people don't understand that. They're like, oh, I'm going to make $1,000 tonight. And then she's going to give me the door, which was, whatever it is at $5 a head to get in. And then that's not how it works. And
then the bar's out the $1,000 plus anything from the door. I mean, that just, I can see the confusion perhaps like in the wording. So I'm like trying to work on the wording, but depending on who, like I've had a couple of people mention that to me, and I'll just say, let's say out of the 5 people, it was actually only 3 people who actually said it. 2 of them were kind and very like, okay, can you just explain this to me? Now I understand type thing. And one of them was just actually really straight up like attack mode on me about it. And while this person was also attacking me, let's not forget, I give a bump as well, like percentage wise of the sales. So you have a base. And then if the sales are good, I give you more. And you get, and so that you get your base, which is covered by the door. But so here it is. If your base is 500, and I'm just picking this number, your base is 500 and the door brings in 400, you're still getting 500. Your base is 500 and the door brings in 800, you're getting the full 800. I'm not trying to make a bonus off of that. Okay. And if the sales, if I have a base of 500, they're like, we usually charge 700. And I say, okay, well, let's see how the sales are. You would also get a percentage if it was up. This person not only got like shitty with me after I gave them the top of the percentage of their sales, because the sales were good, were decent. So I gave them that. They also expected all of the door plus the base, plus base from me. Yeah. And it was kind of shitty with me. And I read it to Scott, and Scott agreed, right? Did you not agree? That was kind of
totally. They were so off base with this. Go ahead. I'm getting this is the weather line probably coming in here. Oh. No, so nothing. All right.
So, in my opinion, it's only a good deal if both people are getting a good deal. It makes no sense. I'm not trying to be gritty. I'm giving you everything, literally everything, to be rude to me over perhaps a misunderstanding of wording and still expect more of it. I was so livid of how I was treated that A, I'll never book them again, and B, it made me think, you know what? I feel like the bad apples are those venues that screw over these bands, and I get it. And then the venues that don't screw over the bands are the ones that get fucking treated like shit. Don't snap at me because you got fucked over somewhere. I gave you extra from the sales, including your base and the extra at the door. It was an extra like $200 or $250 or something.
That's interesting. I'm going to say too, I mean, it's so simple, and you do everything based on I don't want to call it a gentleman's agreement, a ladies and gentlemen's agreement with the band.
Well, things are changing now because
you don't do a contract, do you?
No, but maybe I should. And because of this, because it's, it's a couple of people have kind of gotten shitty with me over like the bump. They're like, well, it looked like it was busier than that. And I show them a literal, like I send them my report of that night. I send them a report of the night so they can see all my numbers. I'm very transparent. And they're like, well, it looks like the sales, like it will look busier than that. I can't help you if you don't fucking understand this business. I'm giving you what I got. So I'm taking out the bump because clearly that's just fucking shit. Like,
well, don't you think though? And by the way, you're gonna have to get all your F-bombs out by the end of April because Facebook's put a new policy in, and if you cuss,
I was swearing.
If you cuss, your page gets eliminated. Goodbye, gone. So we'll have to fix that. But what I'm trying to say is, it seems simple to me that the way you explained it to me, and that you say, all right, your base is $500. If the door makes 400, you're still getting 5. And then if the door makes 1,000, you're getting 1,000, but you're not getting 1,000 on top of your 500.
500.
That's not happening. That the door is designed to cover the cost of a band. That's why you do a cover charge. Otherwise, you wouldn't have it, right?
Right. And I'm making sure that you're leaving just in case it's a shitty night because of weather, because maybe you don't bring a crowd or my crowd doesn't show up. I'm making sure you're at least going to leave with that base. Whether I make 200 at the door, you're still getting your base.
And Bob Klein, I'm reading Dewey's and Bob Klein's here. They get some good comments. Yeah, and there is a negotiation, but it seems to me that we wouldn't be having this discussion even if there weren't crooked people on both sides of the fence out there. The bad apple, as we're trying to say today, because I know there are venue owners that are out there. They're well known, and promoters and people like that absolutely screw over musicians on pay. And that's why I think some musicians get very, very leery, like saying, well, it looked busier than that. Are you hiding the fact that you made $10,000 that night? Well, you didn't make $10,000 that night.
People think it's crazy. Like, people just think we bring, Dewey, the bump is only for certain bands that, like, I've always charged a cover. Like, this was before the cover, the bumps, but I still continued it even though I am now charging cover. So the bump was for bands that usually would charge, let's just say they charge 1,000, but I was like, I can't afford to pay you 1,000. So we'll go by sales. We'll give you like 700. And if the sales are good, I'll give you that. That was for the bump. And I continued it for those bands, even though I now started charging cover. So it wasn't, when I started charging cover, like Under the Sun always played with a cover because they're a more expensive band. So they didn't get a bump. They're bumped enough.
Bumped. Okay. Well, there's some good comments so far. Let me see what Bill's got to say here. It says some bands wonder why they don't get booked anymore. Amen to that, Bill.
Yeah, and the problem is they came off really like it was bad timing as well. Like when they approached me, and then it was, and it on their part they knew it was just horrible, and then it came across as very aggressive. And
why do they pick when they know you're busy to try to talk to you? I mean, it's crazy how people do that. It's like the amount of messages we get while we're live. It's like we can't look at all that right now. It's the same thing. What's Nicole saying here? Dewey,
nobody commands anything. It's just what they pay. It's just what they charge. I don't think that's a command by any means. Whatever Deviate or Under the Sun or these certain bands charge, that's what they charge. It's either I can afford it or I can't. And if I can't afford it, I charge a cover so that way the cover can cover the cost of the band. So there's no commanding. It's just, that's just their fee. And a lot of the bands that if I don't think that the door would even cover the fee, I say, I'm sorry, I can't afford you. And a lot of those bands say, okay, but we still really want to play here. I was like, but you're going to have to take a pay cut because I can't afford it.
Well, and let me say this too. If a band was playing on your stage and they had a tip jar out and they made $1,000 in tips that night, let's say, that's that's an incredible night for a band. It's like crazy. Somebody threw $100 bills in there, whatever they did. Is that band going to give it to the venue? So if you have a big night and you make a little extra profit for your bar to maybe put a new door on a bathroom stall or whatever it takes to do, because it's a lot of upkeep,
Ugh.
then they're expecting you to give that all back away. And that's not how business works, I don't believe.
No, I just think people, again, it comes back to, unless you've run a bar, you have absolutely no idea how this works. You just really don't. I don't claim to know how to run a construction company. I don't know the numbers of what a fireman. I don't know. I'm not an accountant. I don't know that shit. But I can tell you how the bar runs. And people think we walk out each day with a fucking bucket of money and we're just being super cheap with everybody. No, it's not that. I don't like the cost to run a band is to run a bar is absurd. And I just think people need to be a little more understanding. And I get the bad apples ruin that. I get it. Because unfortunately, the bad apples that I've had to deal with have now changed the way that I'm gonna run my business. I'm still gonna give everybody whatever was made at the door, but that also covers your base, but your base and on top of that. But there's no more bumps for those bands. Like done. I'm done with that. And you're not gonna get booked if you're gonna be shitty. Screw that.
Yeah, and it's funny. Thanks, Bill. It's funny how, like, Mary's saying on there, how about tipping the bartenders if the band gets a lot of tips? How about the band throwing a few dollars at the bartender? Some do. I know some people do.
And you know what? A lot of bands just walk out and don't freaking pay their bar tab or tip their bartenders. More than I'd like to say. And so for some reason,
Jonathan.
They think they don't have to pay for, a lot of them don't think they have to pay for booze.
Well, I sent you a funny meme the other day, by the way, it showed this big giant pile of money, and it was directed like at the bar trying to shortchange a musician, but it could be taken the other way to where so many people think a bar makes this mound of money, and and again, we've touched on this so many times about all the costs that go in, and like I just said a minute ago, because there's people, when they get a little tipsy, do stupid things that damage buildings and those kind of things that have to be repaired, replaced, and so on. How much? I mean, you spend a lot every year wear and tear on your bar, don't you?
Yes. Oh my goodness. Yes. Yes.
And you don't have the kind of crowd that breaks a lot of stuff. I mean, it's not that kind of thing. But if you just look at just the amount of glassware you buy in a year, because things fall off the table, get knocked off the table by accident, things like that happen. Doors, hinges, Right. What do we got here? Oh, wow.
Can you do a punch like boxing?
I don't know who that is.
I mean, I used to fight professionally. You own your own business, so everyone thinks you're rich and you only work when you want. I know.
Who said that? God. Mary.
The amount of the amount of people that say to me, "Oh, on another vacation." Let's be clear. I work every single day. Okay. The only days I take off, unless I'm fucking like in my deathbed or I'm on that trip. And let me tell you something, I still work every single day when I'm on my vacation, that I've been put on a limit of 3 hours a day. So,
and Roger, I've done that as well. I've walked out and then had to come back and I forgot to pay my tab when I left. Yeah, that's happened. And coolers breaking. Yeah, there's so many things that go into maintaining an adult beverage establishment. So this whole thing we're talking about, though, could it be solved by contracts, even with local musicians? Just a simple one pager that says, here's what it is. This should explain it to you. It's in writing. Sign on the dotted line. I mean, it's like, I know certain bands that won't pay venues that don't pay cash. And it's like, well, you're not going to play very often because people are to the point where they have to have that tax write-off for the amount of entertainment they spend money on and all those things. What are you looking at? You got something that's got you.
Tim, what did you think that on this comment, what did you think that the $20 cover was going to cover if it wasn't going to cover the band? Just out of curiosity. Like
Well, let's face it, Naked Karate Girls commands a pretty good pay, and they should. But That's interesting. So he said, come to find out that's a way to help supplement our contractor pay. I hope that's what cover
Yeah.
charges go for.
I would hope every covered charge is what, like, is not just going into like, I mean, it's not my business what people do with their cover charge, but what else, where else would that money go?
And, you know, anybody can do a cover, anybody can not do a cover, whatever you want to do to help pay for the band, but it's a way of paying for the entertainment. And there's a lot of bars that wouldn't have live entertainment without a cover charge. They can't afford it.
Right. That I understand, Tim. Yeah, I completely understand that. I was wondering, that's where the money should go. It should go to help pay for the entertainment. In my opinion.
I'm trying to get to Tim's comment.
Yeah. Because I mean, I book bands that I couldn't afford to pay, and that's why I charge a cover. So that way that cover covers the band. I mean, like I said, I mean, I went broke last year paying for live entertainment.
Tim says basically they overshot how much they were going to make at the bar. Yeah.
The
some
bar
people
really cover. And I think that's where the misunderstanding is coming from. If you're charging, I'm just going to pick a number. I'm not saying this is what you charge. This is just any band. If a band is charging, let's just say $1,000, and the bar is paying out that straight out, that would, and their sales were only like 4,000. I mean, I got to tell you, trust me, the cover charges to cover the pay of the entertainment, because it's almost impossible to survive without that, especially now.
Well, and so many bars wouldn't have it without a cover charge. I mean, they just couldn't afford it.
Because they're not just paying the bands, they're paying the music licensing, they're paying they're paying to keep the venue alive. They have to pay everything. So there's, like I said, I spent an obscene amount. I think just people have a misunderstanding of how much it costs to run a music venue. And hence that's why there is a cover to help supplement the cost of the entertainment.
Yeah, live entertainment is an expense, and you have to decide if you want to do it or not. Let's go back to what we were talking about, though. You said you wouldn't have a problem with the band sitting at the door. Now, your door person that takes your cover on those nights also serves several other purposes, though.
Correct.
For the bar, ID checking, all those things that have to come into play. I'd be a little skeptical of just putting a band person at the door in any venue and saying, okay, it's yours to run. You collect the money.
Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. They're welcome to stand there with my door guy, because they're not, listen, there's a liability there. My door guy is there to, make everything is safe. There's a lot of things. They're welcome to stand there as much as they want. I luckily have one of those venues where, we collect money throughout the night. We have cameras. You don't want to trust us, that's fine. I don't really care. You can stand there, but you're not taking over, because there's other reasons why there's a door guy there. You're exactly right, Scott.
Right. And the other thing I've seen bands do where they think they're getting screwed, and this is a bad practice, is they give one of their friends of the band a clicker. And I've seen them sit in a bar and click people in the door.
We have a clicker.
You got to understand, though, that if you're taking that, you're missing those who are walking out to go smoke outside and come back in and all those things. So maybe they only paid the cover. They paid it once coming in the door and they went in and out 10 times. That is not an accurate representation of how many people entered the bar that night.
It's not. And here's the thing for bands. If the venue has a way of paying, if you're being paid based just on door cover, like that's it, and they don't, you have the right to say, no, we're not comfortable with that, and not accept that. Because he's right. Having a band rep at the door sounded like an added headache. It is going to be a headache. It's going to be a headache for the person, the security sitting at the door, especially like a door with my entrance. There's just not enough room. But you can do it. But I would just, if you have that much issues, I just wouldn't book there.
And can we talk about that guy that was kind of getting squaring off with you about the money? Because I want to say this.
Thank
That's
you.
why
I freaking love you so much, dude. You're like one of the city's best, one of the best supporters of live music and venues. So know you're appreciated. What's up?
You ready?
I did something wrong again.
Every day. Every single day you do something wrong. No, what I want to say is that guy that was giving you crap, a little bit of crap about this. It makes me wonder sometimes also when we talk about one bad apple, if the rest of the band realizes who is representing them and how they're representing them. Because oftentimes I know people that play in bands that would never act like that, but yet one person in the band does. I mean, I had somebody square off with me about wearing a Contraband t-shirt once that somebody made that had the band name on it because they apparently sell merch. The rest of the band was mortified that he had even approached me about it. So, you know, it's interesting that I don't think the full band always understands who's repping them. It's like we've always talked about with the wife that does the booking. No, you know, it's not a good practice.
It's not a good practice. You know, I mean, and doesn't that just go with everything? It's how you're represented online. It's how you're represented when, like, you go to a bar and you act fool. Like, you have to know that. I think it's really selfish of like a band member to just go off the rocker or to treat like without thinking of the consequences, because of this person, they will now they weren't going to be booked to my bar either way, because in my opinion, I've given them a couple of chances and it's just not where I would like to see them. But especially not after that. I don't know. You're representing an entire a group of people. Be better, dude. Just be nicer. Like, I've had people, like I said, 2 other people ask me about that cover thing, and they did it with kindness and respect. And it was like, oh no, that's a misunderstanding. Let me explain how this goes. You know, there's nothing wrong with asking the question, but do it in a respectful way, because I've given you and they questioned me right away as if I was like, well, like it was bonkers. You saw the text messages. It was right. Bonkers.
It was very out of character too for the people. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes me wonder, you know, be careful when you're sending those kind of messages. If you're having a bad day, slow your roll a little bit and think about it, because that can have everlasting effects on how you're booked and if you're ever welcome back in a place. And Ceris, there's a lot of storms moving in right now. There's like Mary said, sirens going off in Madeira and all that. And looking at the radar, I think we ought to just be done. We're about done with our time anyway.
Oh, okay.
We've been on here 38 minutes. Let the folks go and make sure you're safe where you are and all that today. So unless you've got anything else you want to hit on here real quick.
No, but just thanks everybody. Be safe. Love y'all.
Yeah, we love y'all. Thanks for being here today, guys. And this has been Hot Topic Tuesday, and your topics get brought up. So if you have one, write it in just like this one, and we'll chat about it. And you may not like our opinion, but, you know, it's our opinion. And remember, you can have one too. You just got to write it in the comments and jump on it. Hi, Ann Coleman. Thank you. She says lots of storms in Indiana. All right. Thank you all. Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Jim. Pouring in Montgomery where it was sunny a minute ago. Thank you, Mary. Love you guys very much. Thanks, Glenn. Be careful, everyone. We'll see you next time. We're going to hit the theme song. She's dancing to it already. Bye-bye for now. Oh, now we're S&C. That sounds good. S&C. Wiki, wiki, wiki. Wiki, wiki, wiki.
For the weekend.
What's your IQ window look like? Can you look out your window? Is it storming?
You can see my whole window. All window in here. No storms yet.
Okay, good. There it is.
Nothing.
Mine looks all right too. It looks a little dark out there though, so I'm going to get out of here too.
All right,
See
love
you,
ya.
everybody. Bye-bye for now.